Hello and welcome to this part 9 of Postman tutorial series. In this part, we are going to get familiar with Postman scripting. So scripts are the lines of codes that allow you to automate the API test. So essentially with the help of this scripting, we can implement the test automation, and power of Postman lies in its ease of implementing the API testing automation. So how does Postman does it? So Postman contains a powerful runtime based Node.js that allows you to add dynamic behavior to request and collection. And how you add this dynamic behavior? It's with the help of the scripts. So essentially Postman supports JavaScript as it is based on Node.js, and you can add this JavaScript two at two parts. You can add it before you send the request to the server or to the endpoint. So this is nothing but the pre-request script, which you can add under the pre-request script tab. When we go to Postman application, we will see how we can add this pre-request script. And second place wherein you can add the JavaScript code is after the response is received. So this you can add in the test script section in that particular test tab. You can add a pre-request and test scripts to a collection in a folder or to a particular request. So let's see the execution order of these scripts. So whenever any single request get triggered from Postman, so the first step is that the prerequisite script associated with that request gets executed. And after prerequisite script, then the request is sent back to the actual endpoint. And after the response is received from that endpoint, then at last the test script is executed. So if you want to do any prerequisite steps before you send a request, for example, if you want to add any authorization header, or if you want to populate any particular value in payload, so these things you can do it in prerequisite script, so that you can add the dynamic behavior to the request that you are sending. And if you want to do any processing after the response is received, for example, depending on the HTTP code, you want to log something in Postman console, or depending on the a particular value in response, you want to execute one another test case. So that kind of a behavior which depends on the response that is being received, so those behavior you can add in the test script section. So so all the scripts that we write in Postman, they are executed in Postman Sandbox. So Postman Sandbox is a JavaScript execution environment which is by default available in Postman. So whenever we write any prerequisite or test scripts, it gets executed in this Postman Sandbox, and it applies to both Postman and Newman. So at the moment, let's park the question about this Newman. We are going to discuss about this in the later sections. So now let's go to Postman, and let's try some uh, basic scripting in our Postman. So before we go to Postman application, there is one thing which I would like to discuss. It is about PM object. So most of the Postman JavaScript API functionality you will be doing using this PM object, and that's why in most of the Postman application you will see this PM object used quite frequently, because this object provides access to most of the things that you will need in creating the scripts. Some of the examples of this PM object is pm.environment, which gives us the ability to get and set the different environment variables. Then it can also access the variables, local variables in your script. You can update the global variables using this PM object, and this also gives you the flexibility to access the request and response object. Along with PM object, there is one more object which you will use, and that is Postman object, and it also provides some additional workflow control which we are going to see in some later sections. So now, with this background or some context about with this PM object, now we can go to Postman application, and we can see how we can get or update or log the contents with the help of this object.
So I have opened the Postman application, and now let's see how the scripting works. So before we proceed with the scripting, one particular setting which I would like you to verify in your Postman setup, and you can go to settings, and you can see if this variable autocomplete feature is on or not. If it is off, you can switch it on. When we will write the scripts, I'll tell you the importance of this particular setting. So now we can add those scripts at three levels. We can add them on collections. So if I click on this collection A, you can see we have this pre-request and test, both these tabs available, wherein I can write the scripts. So whatever script I like write here, those will get applicable, those will get applied to all the requests within that particular collection. Similarly, I can have the similar scripts on folder level. So if I click on this user folder, here also I have both these options. So wherein I can write the scripts that will get applied on all the requests within that particular folder. And lastly, we can write the scripts on a particular request level. So if I click on this get user, I get this pre-request script and test tabs over here. So let's do one thing. Let's explore how we can write different scripts, rather small snippets in this pre-request and test script section. So first let's go to pre-request script, and the first thing that we are going to see is that how we can add the logs in this script, because when we are debugging our script at that point of time, logging is very helpful. So the command to log anything is console dot log. So you can see as soon as I entered this dot, it automatically suggested me the different options available with this console. And this is the feature we are achieving because this auto completion feature is enabled in Postman. So if you don't have that feature enabled, you won't get this auto completion options. And if you are new to this scripting, then those options are very helpful to you. So in console log, let me add one log message saying that this is generated in pre-request script section. And let me every statement that you write in the script section needs to be ended with this semicolon. So let me copy this and let me put it in test part. The only difference this time is instead of pre-request, I'll mention here as test script section. And let me run it, but before I run it, let me switch on Postman console so that we can see if the logs are appearing in this console or not. So the console is now active. So let me send the request. So you can see we first got this message which is in our pre-request section. After that, request got executed, and finally the log the log command which was there in the test script that got executed. So this underlines one fact that which we discussed in the slides also, that first pre-request script section will get executed. After that, request would be sent to the endpoint, and after receiving the response from that endpoint, lastly this test script section will get executed. Now let's go back to pre-request script, and you will notice one thing here, that on right hand side panel I have few links and this snippet section. So this particular links takes you to the documentation page of Postman, which gives you insights on this pre-request scripting. And other than that, you also have various ready to use snippets available. So if you are new to this coding, or you are not that comfortable writing the whole code by yourself, this snippets comes very handy. So let me use one of the snippets, which is about getting a particular environment variable value. So if you remember in our past videos, we had created one variable with the name username, and this was the environment variable. So let's do one thing. Let's try to get the value of this particular environment variable, and let's try to print it in our console logs. So let me remove this variable key here, and here I will add username. So now we can do one thing, either we can add it this value directly under console, or otherwise we can store this value in a particular variable and we can print that other particular variable in the console log. So let me show you the first way. So first now I created a variable with the name as uservar, and then I get this environment variable with the name username, and I put this value of this username variable into uservar, and now I'm printing this uservar in a console log. So let's send a request and see if that value is getting printed or not. So you can see the value is now printed correctly as user_test, as this is the value that we have in this uservar. The other way what you can do is that you can copy paste this and you can put it, let me add some more string to it. So you can see we got this string as variable value is user_test. So this is how we can get the value of environment variable. Similarly, if you want to get a value of global variable, we can use this snippet, and this way we can get the value of a global variable. Similarly, we can also get the value of a local variable which is defined on the particular collection level. Now let's see the next thing. Let's try the next thing, and that thing is, let's try to update the value of this environment variable. So how to update? Again, we have to write pm dot environment dot, and instead of get, now I'll use set. So you can see as soon as I give set here, it also gives me some kind of a help information here, which can be very useful in case you are confused with the syntax. And now I'll add the key and the value. So first is the key, which in this case is username. So I got this prompt automatically. So this value username, and now lastly the value that I want to set. So I'll set this value as user_test_ script updated, so that I'll be able to verify whether the value is now changed through our pre-request script. So let me click on send and go back to Postman console. So let's see the get request. So you can see the username header which we send now has the updated value. So this way we can update any particular environment variable or a global variable or even the collection variable. The next thing that I want to show is that we can also set the request headers through the script. So we can make use of this pm.request object for this requirement, and here we can select headers.add. So here we have to give the key value pair for the particular header. So in this case key, and let's name this key as priority, and value as low. So let's try to send this request, and let's see in console. So you can see the new request header is created, and then the name of this header is priority and value is low. So this way we can create the request headers and we can add those request headers value in this particular request. Similarly, if we already have some headers defined over here, we can also remove those headers from from the outgoing request. So in case if you want to remove the username header, how we can do it? Let's give it a try. pm.request.headers dot remove, and here we have to give the name of that particular key, in this case, which is nothing but the username. So let's send this request and let's see the request which is going. So you can see in the request that we have sent now, we don't have this username header available, though it is a part of our Postman request, but still in the outgoing request which was sent to endpoint, we don't have it available, because in pre-request script we have removed this header. If I remove this sentence and if I click send again, so now you can see that that username header is again available. So this is how you can do, you can add these scripts here, you can add the different commands here, and this way you have the control over the request that you are sending to endpoint. So similar way we can also have the different ways of accessing the response object in this test part. We can output the payload, we can print any particular part of a payload. So those things also we can do it here. So you can try printing the response payload in this console log in this test section, and you can see it yourself how it works. So I hope this small introduction to script must be is useful to you, and you can try writing few scripts in prerequisite or test script section, and that will give you the confidence that it requires to write those scripts. So thank you for watching this video. In next section we will go deeper into this Postman scripting part, and if you find this video helpful, then please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.